An early start, an early day, and an early test for goaltender. Cam Ward, his record against the Flyers, gets set to go. Ray Emery has had good success against Carolina, but his first start this season, we're set in the capital city. Sports Carolinas welcomes you inside PNC Arena, fourth of 5 meetings this season between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. Good afternoon, everybody. Alongside Trip Tracy, I'm John Forsland. As always, thanks for joining us. The Canes look to get back on the winning side of things here this afternoon, but I'll tell you what, Chris Terry is making the most of this stretch run.
And he needs to continue to do so. And when I look at it, Carolina, for the most part, had a healthy group of forwards for a long period of time, and he had some games where he was out of the lineup. I think he used being healthy extra productively to get himself up to NHL speed. And now that he really has adjusted finally to the speed, his offensive talents, passing the puck, finishing, have really come to the fore. And I think he's going to the net very well right now, too. And I think that was the key component to this power play goal, the only goal Carolina had a couple of nights ago against Florida.
The guy at his side has had a big part in that success. Here's Tripp earlier today with the captain.
Eric, why has Chris Terry put together this nice stretch of hockey here to try to make a real statement to stay in the NHL?
Well, he's offensively gifted. Obviously, he has some talent on the offensive side of the puck. He's been finding the holes. He's been getting to that pretty hard. He's making some good plays with the puck and using the things that make him good, the best of his ability. He's been solid for us as of late.
You'll be back on line with your brother against Giroux and Voracek this afternoon. Would you agree that Jordan seems to play his best when he has that simple task of checking a top line?
Yeah, he's tough to play against, no matter who we're against. But obviously, when you play top guys, you need to pay attention a little bit more. And he's real solid at that. Good skaters over the other side. They make plays, so he'll be ready to go tonight. And hopefully, we can take advantage the other way.
Good luck today, Eric.
All right, thank you.
So the Stalls will be back together today with Elias Lindholm on the top line and checking line, too. We'll get to that throughout the game today. You take a look at what Jordan's doing, and he'll get that prime assignment against Claude Giroux. He's pressing, though. He's gone 18 games without a goal, and hopefully that'll turn around here today. Now, as far as the Philadelphia Flyers are concerned, they've had a storied history, 48 years in length, but they've never had a leading scorer in the NHL. We'll take a look at what Jake Voracek has been able to do. He's been sensational, to say the least, right now, and he's got a shot at the top.
He's going to play Crosby tomorrow in a back-to-back for the Flyers, and I think the best thing you say about Voracek at 25 years old is he's gotten better every year. He's become less predictable, I think. I think he used to be really known as a pass-first kind of guy. He shoots the puck more, keeps defenders honest. But talking to his coach, Craig Berube, before the game this afternoon, he says he's as competitive as any player he has on his team.
They need more from the back end, too. They'll probably address that in the offseason. The veteran Mark Streit wears the A, an alternate captain. You see what he's been able to do in the power play. He'll need to produce here today for the Philadelphia Flyers to have success against the Hurricanes. They will see this team in South Philly on Thursday night. Fourth of 5 meetings. The Canes hit the ice, getting ready for the Flyers.
Here he comes. He'll bust in the zone, go wide. He'll circle the wagons. He scores! Eric Staal. Time Malone with Ryan Murphy. He'll delay. He scores! What a move by Jordan Staal. Justin Falk shot caught off. They score! On the rebound, it's Eric Staal.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by North Carolina Education Lottery. All or Nothing is the exciting new draw game from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Match all or match none, and win the top prize of $250,000. Either way wins. By Raleigh Orthopedic. Go where the pros go. Raleigh Orthopedic. And by Golden Corral. Enjoy Golden Corral Seafood Spectacular. It's unlimited seafood every night of the week for just $11.99. Well, matinee for you inside PNC Arena. We get set for the 126th all-time meeting between these two teams. Let's check out the goaltenders today. Cam Ward back to work. He played Tuesday night in Washington. 16 saves and a 4-2 loss. Their team defense is number 19. Ray Emery has not played since March the 21st at Edmonton. This is 30th game of the season. Their team defense is number 22. His first appearance against Carolina this year. Bill Peters, as we heard from Steve Smith and Hurricanes Live, they spent a great deal of time trying to get back on track after losing 2 in a row on the road, 6-1 in South Florida on Thursday night. Craig Berube, his team has just been eliminated from the postseason, but they were impressive again in Pittsburgh, a 4-1 win against the Pens on Wednesday night. The Stahl brothers, along with Elias Lindholm up front, Justin Falk and Ron Hainsey on defense. Sit back and enjoy this one as Falk clears it out of play. Let's take a look at the Rex Express Care injuries and scratches. Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
Hurricanes go with the same lineup they did in Florida. Belmore, the healthy extra. Nash, Hillen, Rissanen injured. Philadelphia's Gord Murphy, the assistant coach running the blue line, just almost headed to the hospital ward with that early puck.
Got to be ready for these afternoon starts. An early one here at PNC Arena. Cam Ward, Justin Falk, top of your screen. The Flyers seal the wall. Good stick by Ron Hainsey, and it comes out to center ice. The nominee for the Masterton Trophy for Philadelphia, Nick Schultz, the veteran defenseman in control. He's had a very good bounce-back season. They wind it up. It's carried out to center ice by Claude Giroux. Jake Voracek over the line. We cataloged him in the open. A quick shot shut down by Cam Ward. Michael Del Zotto coming in on the flank. We'll take a look at the Storm Tracker, our game keys here this afternoon.
Well, the last one's going to be relevant to that early rush there. The captains on both top lines. Really, it's again Giroux and Eric Stahl. George in the middle, of course, Voracek on that top line for Philadelphia. The Hurricanes, as we talked about in our pregame show, better off the rush. Del Zotto just had an early chance.
Matt Reed now skate to stick. Sean Couturier, a tip chance goes wide off the stick of Braden Shen, who had 2 goals in Pittsburgh on Wednesday. Couturier, Shen out of the corner now as they establish a cycle. Braden Shen goes to work. Couturier in back of Ward to the outside of Ryan Murphy. To the point it goes. Philadelphia keeps it deep. Matt Reed drops it off. Good cycling again. Shen in control, flushed out by Victor Rask. Shen drops it off, stolen here by John Michael Lyles, and the Hurricanes punch it out. Coming all the way back now, in control, Mark Streit. Streit, the veteran. Second season with the Flyers, through center, unattainable. It comes all the way back. This is icing. We'll get a face-off in the Flyers zone.
Well, let's take a look at the transition game of the Philadelphia Flyers. And, of course, your back checking's a 200-foot play. Here, Giroux makes a nice move on Elias Lindholm, creates time and space. Del Zotto joins the rush. The Hurricanes had 4 people back, but no way at their own blue line to match the speed. Del Zotto's had a nice year.
Jay McClements centering a new line here with Jeff Skinner and Alex Semin. Mikhail Jordan, Semin in control. A shot off the outside of the goalpost. Danny Biega at the top of your screen. Nicholas Grossman now on the wall. Chris Van de Velde out to center ice. Carolina, as we see, they pick it off. A quick up. Jordan intended for Skinner. Strike got in the way, and Philadelphia can recoil.
Well, you see Skinner, playing on a line with Semin on the other wing, McClement in the middle. You need those two in an afternoon like this because they will see favorable matchups. They won't see the same defensemen that, say, the Stahls do, and they need to take advantage.
Philly will not be in the playoffs. Only the 10th time in their 48-year history that's happened. Out to center ice. It ricochets all the way down to Cam Ward. Ward out to play it by Zach Ronaldo. Patrick Dwyer turns back in his own territory. Loose along the boards. Forked along by Ronaldo. Carolina in control. Ryan Murphy back out to neutral ice.
Yeah, the Flyers have played much better in the last few months. The last few years, they've actually suffered the same bug that Carolina has. Tough starts to the season. Some tough Octobers.
Hey, Caniacs, 50% off is back. Should the Canes score 3 or more goals this afternoon, get 50% off your entire menu price online order at participating Papa John's the day after the Canes score 3 or more. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
The Flyers had an outstanding home team, 21-9-7, where Carolina will be next Thursday. They've had trouble on the road, although beat Pittsburgh this past Wednesday.
Only 10 wins on the road. 20 losses, 10 overtime or shootout losses. In on Ray Emery. He'll move it along. Philadelphia stumbled in their last 12, 3-4-5. Prior to that, 10-3-5, and they were in the hunt.
And they played a very good game against Pittsburgh. They always play well in Pittsburgh, it seems, and they'll be against the Penguins in Philadelphia tomorrow on NBC. They played a really smart game. They went to the front of the net, controlled the puck with the Penguins only having 5 defensemen.
Claude Giroux coming all the way back. Third leading scorer in the National Hockey League last season through center ice. Michael Raffl has a 20-goal campaign. Goes deep, broken up by Danny Biega. And the Hurricanes now buzz back out. Biega in control. Through the center zone, broken up by Matt Reed. He'll turn it back for Philadelphia. Drop it off. Read there. Good defensive play that time by Nathan Gerbe. Here they come. Chris Terry dangles. Lays it off. A shot. Emery comes up big on the chance for Danny Biega.
Now, hopefully this is a good sign for Victor Rask. Victor's been pretty consistent, but he had a couple of tough games in Washington and then Florida. Draws Grossman, moves the puck up to Terry, creates a chance, and the Hurricanes go to the front of the net. Good move to the middle and then dropping the puck from Terry, and Biega, as a defenseman, picks the right time to join the fun. So Del Zotto did it at one end, Biega did it as a defenseman at the other.
Faceoff comes back to Justin Faulk. Semin awaiting that pass. A good stick that time at the defense by Mark Streit. Out of the corner now. Philadelphia grinding along the boards. Semin for Carolina. In the slot, negated, broken up by Nick Grossman. Grossman shields his man on the way out. Semin a steal, broken up. At the point, Hainsey looking for the tip was Jeff Skinner, but Chris Van de Velde lays it ahead for Vincent LeCavalier. Good job by Ron Hainsey coming back on him. Jeff Skinner in full flight, 10-2 with the skates, defended by Brandon Manning. The rookie defenseman now picked off momentarily by Alex Semin. Van de Velde now through center ice, and Carolina gets on it.
A good tight gap there from Lyles, boy, the Philadelphia player. Close there, Ryan White, who's played quite well, then closing his hand on the puck.
Ryan White sees time on their power play, or has recently. We'll see today. Nick Cousins, or call-up from their American Hockey League affiliate, went down in the process, and now in control, turning it in offside, is Zach Rinaldo.
Well, we talked about Mark Streit in the open, the Swiss-born defenseman, and watch the left side of your screen. Heck of a play with his stick on Semin. Semin's in an ideal shooting position as a righty on the left side of the ice. And Skinner's offensive numbers have not been what Carolina wants this year, but we continue to see the playmaking dimension of his game start to come to the fore. That's a heck of a play by Streit.
Good play by Mark Streit. Has the A on his sweater now late in the season. Looking for leadership out of him in these trying times when you have a team that's out of contention. Carolina will see Philadelphia at Wells Fargo Center on Thursday night.
And right now, John, we are down to one linesman. One of the linesmen just went to the Carolina room with Bob Gorman, one of the Hurricanes equipment managers, which would make me think he has a skate issue.
And that linesman would be John Grant. Out to center ice. Voracek through the middle. In control. Del Zotto deals away. Raffl with a shot swallowed by Cam Ward. And no further play.
Well, then Don Henderson will be the sole remaining linesman right now, but Rob Martel and Frederick Lecoullier have the versatility that they can, for the time being, help Henderson with the lines until hopefully Grant comes back.
McClement has been sent out to take the defensive zone face-off for the Hurricanes, opposed by Michael Raffl. Voracek. Del Zotto dusting it off. Inside it goes. Loose this way. Down the wall, Eric Stahl. Stahl looks to find the handle. It's broken up by Claude Giroux. Top of your screen, getting to it. Elias Lindholm not out. Del Zotto. He'll wipe it along.
No Jordan Stahl on the ice. McClement in the middle here. Jordan Stahl's gone to the Carolina room.
Now it's poked out by James Clement. All the way back. Elias Lindholm on Schultz. Here's Eric Stahl. Blocked as Del Zotto went down in front of Ray Emery, and it's carried out by Jake Voracek. Voracek over the line. Moving in Raffl. His shot negated by Danny Biega. In control and starting his engine. Chris Terry points in 4 straight games. Nathan Gerbe. He'll dust it off. His shot canceled by Streit. Out of the corner, Terry. To the point, Rask. Across it goes. They cruise up. A shot by Jordan. Handled by Ray Emery.
Grant just came on the ice on the fly. Carolina was moving the puck up the ice. The defensive door open, and on he came. So he's back. It's clearly a skate issue, and we'll just have to keep an eye on. Now I see Jordan Staal coming down the hallway, so good to see Grant back, and now Jordan back on the bench.
Now, the officials trip can never have too many men on the ice. They never get caught with that. Now out to center ice. Braden Shen broken up. Couturier getting it back for Philadelphia. Thwarted on the way through. Interrupted. Play to the wall, and getting to it now, Victor Rask. Rask is crunched by Matt Reed. Across it goes. Moved along by Nicholas Grossman. Danny Biega for Carolina. A little chip by Terry out to the center zone, where it's sent out of play by Mark Streit. 13:35 left to go in the opening period. Just underway on this Saturday afternoon in Raleigh.
Raleigh were scoreless in the first. The Canes are coming off of a tough 2-game road trip, but the captain has some words about what the Hurricanes must do in these last 5 games. That's our Geico quote. He says, it's about playing the right way, the way Bill wants us to play. We want to establish a foundation that we can trust and rely on. You need to bring what you do and what you're asked to do to the best of your ability if we want to continue to build for next season. That's what we're focused on, guys.
You're right, Chantal. I mean, it's about coming back home for one game before going on the road and continuing the positive progressions here in this building. And then regardless of the outcome, having more of a character effort beginning the 3-game road trip in Buffalo is going to be a necessity.
Canes have lost 3 in a row, albeit one of those in overtime to Boston, which wrapped up a very impressive 5-game homestand. Then a loss in Washington Tuesday night, 4-2, 6-1 in Florida on Thursday night. Biega knocking it down. Jordan had it, lost it. Along the boards, Brandon Manning looking for Vinny Lecavalier. The veteran holding on to it. Grab chance that time by Van de Velde. Good stop by Cam Ward. Out of the corner now. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare is there, and it's broken up by Jeff Skinner all the way across. Alexander Semin moves it by Carlo Koliakovo. Along the end wall, Carolina's Jeff Skinner tries to make it happen. Broken up by Bellemare, who spots Koliakovo, and they start again. Out of the corner. Chipped ahead now. Was by Jeff Skinner. Back out to neutral ice. In control, you're looking at Ryan Murphy.
Good job there for Philadelphia in the neutral zone on Murphy. You have to be willing to dump the puck if you don't have any other option.
Along the wall, broken up by Nick Cousins. Stolen by Carolina's John Michael Lyles. Brad Malone. Patrick Dwyer now. Off a body, covered up by Ray Emery.
Hurricanes are going to the front of the net to try to, make Emery maybe feel some tension in his game. Claude Giroux, just like Nicholas Backstrom is for Alex Ovechkin, Claude Giroux certainly is for Jakub Voracek. Last time he was here, I actually spoke to Giroux at length about the impact that Benoit Gros had on his game. He was his junior coach. Of course, he was the coach as well for the Canadian Gold Medal World Junior team that won this year in their home country.
Giroux now, the aforementioned player, gets after it. Ron Hainsey, a steal for Carolina, finished off by Michael Raffle. Jordan Staal deep in his own zone. Good pass to Elias Lindholm, and here they come. Lindholm with a shot, a stinger blocked by Del Zotto twice. Lindholm intended for Eric Staal, broken up. Giroux leaves it there, held in by Justin Falk. Out of the corner, curling with it, the captain. Eric Staal leaves it for Ron Hainsey. He'll move it top of your screen now. Del Zotto stationed there. Was off the stick of Eric Staal. Out to neutral ice. Voracek leaves it for Claude Giroux, who swings back.
The post to Emery's left, I believe, that peg is off the mooring. I don't know if anybody recognizes it. Boy, it would have been interesting if Carolina, it's right to his left skate. Fortunately, can you move for us, Ray? No, you don't. We just can't see it from the 2 angles. Trust me, it is. This was prior to the last whistle. Malone going to the front of the net, and that net is dislodged, and nobody knows it.
Oh, yeah.
It would really cause for an interesting situation if Carolina scores.
Out of the corner now, Murphy. In control, holding on to it now. Ryan Murphy from his own zone for John Michael Lyles out through center ice. It comes all the way back. It's a foot race, won by Philadelphia. And we'll take a look at the net one more time as you see the net there and the goalpost resting on it.
He just recognized it. I think Emery just noticed it. Yep, he did. Way to go, Ray. That would have really been something. Had Carolina scored a goal, Afternoon games, I'm telling you, they're tough.
Not really. Off the draw now, in control, Ryan Murphy holding onto it. Murphy tries to move it along. Dwyer broken up by Couturier. Patrick Dwyer gets to it. Out to center ice. Knocked down by Nicholas Grossman. He'll feed it in. John Michael Lyles out of the corner away from Braden Shen to the point. There's Strike. Now Grossman. His shot blocker down. No problem for Cam Ward. Now Braden Shen. Shen holding onto it, grinding up top as he was flushed out by John Michael Lyles. Nathan Gerby plays it to himself, and the Hurricanes get it back out to center. Shots are even as we see it 4. The fourth of 5 meetings this season. Carolina has won 2 out of 3. Both games here losing in Philadelphia in the initial game. Now Mark Streit through center. A bouncing puck over the stick of Mikhail Jordan. Pressured, given a shove that time by Braden Shen. Loose the back of the goal. Reed Couturier off the body. A good block by Lyles. Carolina survives, and Nathan Gerby will turn it back. Out to center ice now. John Michael Lyles makes sure that he gains center. Hard around it goes. Carlo Koliakovo deep in his own zone. He scored Wednesday night in Pittsburgh. Brandon Manning will lay it back through the middle of the ice. On the attack now. Belmar taken down by Biega. Van de Velde will go deep. It's over the stick of Jordan. There's Pierre-Edouard Belmar getting help from Le Cavalier. Koliakovo goes deep. Belmar out of the corner. Played 8 seasons in the Swedish Elite League prior to this. Van de Velde in the high slot, and he'll dangle. A product of the University of North Dakota. Inside where it's picked off by Jay McClement, and Carolina will start again. 9:35 left to go in the first period. Jeff Skinner has a one-on-one. Manning is back. Good play by Brandon Manning. Brought along here, and turning is Alexander Semin. Semin sets up shot, lays it along for Falk. He'll tee it up. And Emery possibly got a piece of it, although it looked like it was blocked out in front by Carlo Koliakovo.
Good net front presence from McClement. Falk seems to, most of the time, make the right decisions of when he needs to get pucks through quickly from the point and when he has time like he did there.
Jordan Staal moves in, goes wide. His shot kicked out by Emery. They score on the rebound. It's Elias Lindholm, and Carolina is off and running.
Jordan Staal, stop it right here. Watch it, you see his head, and because of that, watch how he shoots far side, which creates the rebound. Very, very smart. He took a look, he had 2 guys, his brother and Lindholm going to the front of the net. Lindholm was hungry for that puck, then Philadelphia captain Claude Giroux. Hurricanes score.
Gainsey knocks it down. Jordan Staal will get the primary assist on Lindholm's 17th goal of the season. Zach Ronaldo sends it deep in the Carolina zone. Hainsey crunched by Nick Cousins out in front. Ryan White, the intended receiver. Good play by Justin Falk ahead of him. The 2 Stalls help out on the goal by Lindholm. With 9 minutes gone in period 1. Out of the corner. Carolina starts over. Hainsey now springs the man. Lindholm. He'll go off on a line change and roll it in.
Well, I almost think that's close to indefensible for a goaltender. The only thing you can do to prevent that lively rebound, which is really a pass, is to relax your leg enough so the puck goes to the corner on the far side, not right back into the slot. But the Hurricanes, that's 2 of the 3 game keys. Top line against top line and going to the paint.
Nathan Gerby gets a stretch pass defended by Nicholas Grossman. Strike coming back along the glass and back out. Settled down here by Ryan Murphy, paired with John Michael Lyles, who has the puck. 7:47 left, period 1. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. Canes and Flyers here, and Carolina will venture off on Easter Sunday. Go to Buffalo, where they play on Monday night. Grossman off a body. Braden Shen locates the puck. Now Van de Velde for Pierre-Edouard Belmar. Ahead of him is Justin Falk, who plays it well. Falk stays with it. He's tripped up, and Carolina will go to a power play. Gerby a give back. Ward to the bench, and 6 skaters come out. Good start for the Hurricanes. Just about 13 minutes gone in the first period. As Belmar gets to it. Philadelphia down a man and down a goal. Elias Lindholm, his 17th of the season. 1-0. Carolina. the combination on the first goal this afternoon.
Well, it's just very cerebral. Jordan takes a look. The Hurricanes need to do a better job of getting to the net. Eric did, so did Lindholm, and they score really on a shot pass, and Justin Falk is able to, with quickness, make that move to the middle, draws the trip to Vinny LeCavalier, the Hurricanes with the man advantage.
Carolina tied for 9th with their power play. Number 6 at home. Philadelphia really struggling with a kill all season. 29th overall, 29th on the road. The Hurricanes in the last 5 are 2 out of 13 as Duke Energy has the power play notes for you. Carried out here by Justin Falk. Victor Rask in full flight. Kicked along by Lindholm, going down Del Zotto. The toe drag by Rask, then it was poked off his stick, and Michael Del Zotto floats it all the way back in the Carolina zone.
Yeah, tough to be a young player in New York City with the Rangers, and then Del Zotto briefly in Nashville, but he has done a very fine job maturing and taking advantage of his chance here in Philadelphia.
Still only 24, and it's all come together about halfway through this season. It comes all the way back in. The first time we saw Philadelphia, he was on the outside looking in. He was a healthy scratch in that game. Now he's a mainstay in the back end, and they're looking to build with him moving forward. Ryan Murphy now in control. Murphy out of the corner, 6:17 left in period 1. Elias Lindholm has the goal. Nathan Gerbe. Quarterbacks through center ice. Philadelphia 4 abreast at the line. Here's Eric Stahl. He'll dangle through the slot. Murphy, now Lyles. Ryan Murphy in control. Lyles on the flank. He'll dust it off. John Michael Lyles for the Hurricanes holding onto it. Indirect pass out of the reach of Murphy. Carolina forced to restart. Murphy now coming back in control. That much time left in the manpower advantage. Gaining entry is Nathan Gerbe. Pulls up on Brandon Manning. Here's Lyles. Through the slot area, good stick that time by Chris Van de Velde, who wipes it along the boards and all the way back out.
Heck of a play there from Van de Velde. As I often say, a barometer as to whether a penalty kill is dialed in is how good is the weak side penalty killing forward. The high forward away from the puck. Van de Velde very good there.
Nathan Gerbe, 7 seconds on the power play. Hainsey goes across. Skinner. Hainsey one more time. Here it comes. Off a body off Schultz, who leads Philadelphia in terms of block shots. Picked off by Justin Falk. LeCavalier's out of the box. Philadelphia has killed it off.
Very well done from Justin Falk, knowing where the clock was at, knowing when LeCavalier was coming out of the box.
Through the middle of the ice. Brought in the zone now and carried in by Michael Raffle. He's taken down by Ron Hainsey. Brad Malone, a lead pass for Pat Dwyer. Here they come. They'll go to the outside, an easy chance for Emery, but he fumbled it. Loose in back of the goal. Dwyer taken down. He gets back up. Carolina on a forecheck. Here's Brad Malone. Mikhail Jordan. Jordan. Little pass off a stick, goes inside. Del Zotto taken care of by Dwyer. Claude Giroux moves it for Jake Voracek. In back of the goal, good work. In control, Dwyer, now Malone. He'll swing it back to Jordan, interrupted by Michael Raffle, and out they go.
Boy, the products out of the Swedish Elite League, like Raffle, like Belmar. Chris Pryor with the Philadelphia Flyers deserves a lot of credit. They have another good young defenseman by the name of Robert Hag coming out of the Swedish Elite League playing with the Phantoms right now.
Carolina no shot with their power play. Through center now. Rask will move it back. Under 4 minutes left in period 1. Rask takes it to the outside. Taking down a man in the process. He steamrolled Matt Reed. Now Koliakovo broken up. Chris Terry goes to work. Lyles punches one off a body off Manning. Fanning on it, Gerbe. Ryan Murphy off another flyer. They entangle right in front of that Flyer bench. It kicks out to neutral ice. Carolina right on the puck, and they've had the puck a great deal this afternoon.
Big bounce back for Victor Rask. 2 tough road games. Made a good early play in the neutral zone there. A big hit on Reed. Reed actually followed him across the ice and gave him a pretty good slash. All with Victor. A good, clean finish physically.
Carolina's 7 of the first 11 shots today. Now out to center ice. In the zone, Skinner. His shot blocker down by Ray Emery. Played here by Alex Semin. His wrister taken care of at the D. A lead pass. Offside is Vinny LeCavalier. 17 minutes gone in the first period. And an on-time start for Jeff Skinner. And the Carolina Hurricanes up by Raleigh rookie Victor Rask. setting a physical tone early. Let's take a look at the Hurricanes' teeth-rattling check of the game presented by Dr. Tom Long, team dentist for the Carolina Hurricanes.
That was Rask being a Swede. That was reminiscent of a one-time Philadelphia Flyer by the name of Peter Forsberg. Illegal forearm shiver. Puck is there, and then Reed followed him across the ice. He didn't like it. Look at this slash on the back of the legs. You know that Reed knows that that's a part of his leg that doesn't have a lot of protection when it comes to padding. So good for Victor Rask.
Around the wall now, Falk will go deep. Eric Staal lurking for Carolina. Staal now in control away from Nick Schultz. A penalty upcoming against the Flyers. Cam Ward to the bench. And the Hurricanes, unless they score, will get their second power play. Ron Hainsey now with his head up. Through center ice on the attack. Lindholm with a shot blocked at the defense. Follow up Jordan Staal. Covered up by Ray Emery.
It's a trail official that calls the hook. Carolina's had an edge here in this first period, and when you have that, a lot of times you're going to draw more penalties.
Billy, 2 minutes. Looking.
I think that Schultz is actually going to be guilty of grabbing Eric Stahl's jersey. No, but then you see his stick. You see his stick come up in the midsection. The back official makes the call. It was the stick infraction.
Carolina did not have a shot with the initial power play. Eric Staal losing that face-off. Controlled here along the boards now, as it's cleared along that time by Belmar, but held in by the Hurricanes. Rask out of the corner, detected by Nick Grossman. Along the wall now, Philadelphia attempting to get it out. Here's Eric Staal. Staal at the point. He'll settle it down. From the wall, Lindholm. Now Rask thinks about it, walking the line. Elias Lindholm advancing, off a stick, blocked by Nicholas Grossman. Lindholm from the corner. It jumps the stick of Chris Terry. Brandon Manning is on him. Belmar will attempt to take it to the outside. Out of the scrum, it kicks out. Controlled by Ryan White. He'll kill time.
Ryan White, Craig Berube told me before the game, he said, you know, if he had played with us the whole season, you know, former Montreal Canadian draft pick, we might be in the playoffs right now. That's how much he's lifted their emotions being in their lineup.
Centered out in front, he had a torn pectoral muscle, which sidelined him for the first 26 games. Now Gerby. Broken up on and off the stick of Jordan Staal. Matt Reed, shorthanded, brings it on. Reed in the zone out in front, look out. Over the stick of Sean Couturier. Philadelphia scored 3 shorthanded goals this season, one of those on the road. Nathan Gerby busting in. They'll fire it past Ray Emery with that much time left in the power play. Carolina, should they get possession, has time to do something. Here's Gerby. It goes deep for Jordan Staal. Nathan Gerby from the corner. Back again, but it jumps the stick of Ryan Murphy, and the Hurricanes recoil.
Good shift. He's still on the ice for Reed after that retaliatory slash on Rask. So, you know, he comes back and has a very positive shift.
Jordan Staal in control away from Matt Reed. Along the wall now, it's Skinner. Jeff Skinner holding onto it. To the point for Murphy. Schultz is up and ready. Hainsey hinging down, one-timer, fanned on by Jeff Skinner. Jordan out of the corner. Backdoor, it's Hainsey, read by Matt Reed. And with Schultz out of the box, he'll dump it back out.
Good cross-seam pass there by Hainsey to Jeff Skinner. And Skinner, boy, he seems so much more comfortable passing than shooting the puck right now, which is extremely strange to say.
Carolina 1 shot in the power play. 0 for 2 thus far. Knocked down here by Eric Staal. 5 seconds left in the period. Ron Hainsey away from Jake Voracek. Ryan Murphy in his own zone, and that'll do it. Shots 8-4, Carolina. Jordan Staal a big assist on the only goal so far. He'll be Tripp's guest, PNC Bank. First intermission, the alumni game is inside a Hurricane. Lindholm has scored for Carolina. They lead after 1. Elias Lindholm combining at the 11-minute mark of period 1 for the only goal so far. John Forslund, Tripp Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level, along with our fine crew here at PNC Arena. Second to last home game for the Carolina Hurricanes this season. They hit the road for 3 straight, starting in Buffalo Monday night. We will start with Hurricanes Live at 6:30 off the draw. Eric Staal leads it back to the point. Michael Del Zotto looking for a tip, none available. Getting to it now, Jordan Staal back out to center. Eric broken up on the way out. Controlled here, brought over the line, but offside by Claude Giroux. Let's take a look at the first period numbers brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Oh, man, now I want wings.
I mean, I'd say all to the good except for the fact that the Philadelphia Flyers on the road almost surprisingly have the edge that they do in the face-off department. And that's led really by Sean Couturier at 67%.
And Sean's out there to take this face-off, opposed by Victor Rask. Ryan Murphy in control. Good pass, cross ice. Finding Nathan Gerbe. He'll go cross corner. Nicholas Grossman, checked by Victor Rask. Matt Reed, bottom of your screen. Reed in control, broken up by Nathan Gerbe. Here he comes. His shot denied by Ray Emery. Out of the corner, Grossman and Gerbe come together. Victor Rask grinds it along the boards. Off Couturier, captured by Lyles. It's tipped right on. Steered out by Ray Emery. Nathan Gerbe tried to make it happen, and now Ryan Murphy recoils back in neutral ice.
Murphy may have been able to hold the line there, but prior to that, Nathan Gerbe stick on the ice, neutral zone turnover. The Hurricanes practiced it yesterday, 20-plus minutes working on the neutral zone. It has definitely been improved.
Much better. Now Grossman along the boards. In control now, Chris Van de Velde. At his side, Vincent Lecavalier out in front, off the blocker of Cam Ward. Belmar inside for Lecavalier, dancing on Jordan. Out in front, it sails by the intended receiver that time, Carlo Koliakovo, and here they come. Danny Biega off a body, blocked by Brandon Manning. Biega out in front. It's loose. Here's a chance, possibly, as it kicks off the stick of Koliakovo, and Philadelphia survives. Out they come. Up from the D, Brandon Manning. He'll get it deep.
The Hurricanes actually had numbers caught there, but got back nicely. Danny Biega at home, where Steve Smith can play him against players that aren't the top players for the other team, I think has been much more comfortable.
Jeff Skinner in the Philadelphia zone, broken up by Nick Cousins. Cousins gets to it. Skinner right back at him. Now it's loose this way for Michael Del Zotto. A good look at him. He'll start from the corner. Stretch pass, Zach Rinaldo. Leading Philadelphia in terms of penalty minutes. He'll get it ahead. Cousins on the gallop, checked by Patrick Dwyer. Was off a stick, Andre Nestrashil. Broken up by Nick Schultz. Ryan White this way, Rinaldo. From the wall, he'll cushion it down low. Ward out to play it. He sets up Ryan Murphy. Murphy off a stick all the way back down. No icing.
That's such an example of Cam Ward's improved puck handling. The Hurricanes, good chance, would have spent some time in their own end. Got out because he got out and made a play.
Brad Malone centers a pass off a stick. It went off Nick Cousins back out to the center zone, controlled by Justin Falk. Ron Hainsey looks for Patrick Dwyer, shouldered a bit by Jake Voracek, and it comes all the way back in. Out of the corner, Philadelphia starting from their own zone. 3 minutes gone in the second period. Canes will be in Philadelphia on Thursday night. That will finish off the road portion of the schedule. In the zone, Claude Giroux. He pulls up, lays it back. Grossman is shot off a body, off Ron Hainsey. Michael Raffle for the Flyers. Defended that time by Ron Hainsey. Getting to it as Elias Lindholm back out to dead center. A good steal. Jordan Staal walks in for a chance. He scores! Jordan Staal, his first goal in 19 games. And he has 2 points this afternoon. Carolina up by a pair.
Watch Jordan Staal force the turnover on Grossman. Rangy stick, creates the 2-on-1. Emery was not committed to the puck carrier, which is the goaltender's job. Jordan is riding the confidence that he set up the first goal of the game. Maybe Emery thinks he's going far side again to create a rebound like he did on the Lindholm goal, and he scores. He plays his best when his job is to check. That's when his offense seems to come.
Through center ice now, Nathan Gerbe moving up. Defended by Koliakovo, then he's double-teamed, but he got a deep unassisted goal. 5th goal of the season for Jordan Staal. It comes at 3:27. Emery shuts down Nathan Gerbe. Loosened back of the goal, now it kicks out Matt Reed for the Flyers. Held in momentarily by Victor Rask, and a steal again by Carolina's Danny Biega as the Hurricanes cross offside.
Boy, this is what I would do with Jordan for the rest of his career. I would just pick a line. I don't care if you score. Just keep them from scoring, and I'm telling you, that's when his offense is going to come. He is able to strip Grossman of the puck, takes a look here. You can see with his eyes. He is making Emery think I might pass or I might shoot far side once again like I did on the first goal of the game, and because of that, Emery was not square and committed.
Chris Van de Velde for the Flyers, inside on Cam Ward, away from Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. Coming back to it is Jeff Skinner, choked off a bit. LeCavalier left there. Defensive help from Alexander Semin, and out they go. A long pass, cross ice, finding Jeff Skinner. Skinner pulls up. Van de Velde is on him. Left as we see outside the line. Getting to it again. The little forearm shiver is Alex Semin. He'll thread it across. 15:23 left to go in the second period. Elias Lindholm and Jordan Staal have the goals here this afternoon. Ryan Murphy moves it back. John Michael Lyles through center. Alex Semin moves in. Center drive provided by Jay McClement. Semin pulls up. Lays it back for Biega. Taken down was McClement. No call made, and it's carried out here by Zach Rinaldo.
Boy, if Semin plays fast and shoots that puck far side, I think it ends up being a much better scoring chance.
Along the boards by Koliakovo. All the way back in the Flyers zone. Icing is called here against Carolina. The Carolina Ale House is the spot for cool bars. The next one will be in downtown Raleigh on Thursday night. Final road game of the year from Philadelphia. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com for more details.
I just think it's all about playing fast. Even if he, turns and finds the trailing defenseman, he could play that quicker, like he did, setting up the goal he did Tuesday in Washington. Just needs to elevate his pace.
Face-off controlled by Brad Malone, utilized as a centerman here for this afternoon's game by Bill Peters. Mikhail Jordan in his own territory, indirectly through the center zone, picked off by Philadelphia's Manning. Turning back is Claude Giroux. Giroux over the line, saddled a bit on the way through that time by Alex Semin. Around it goes for Jordan. Center zone, Jeff Skinner. Hampered a bit by Brandon Manning. Carolina can get a change now as Emery leaves it for the D. Picked off and carried back by Eric Staal.
Yeah, they got to change, but Biega had to stay on the ice, which was smart. Otherwise, Philadelphia, Emery would have had a clear lane up the ice. The defenseman in the second period furthest from the bench cannot, even when he's tired, oftentimes change. Emery's looking up, and if Biega had gone for a change when I know he was tired, and now still on the ice off of this icing, Danny Biega is. So I would think he's talking to Falk right now. I would think Biega, as soon as he can, gets on the board side of the ice so he's closer to the bench to make a change.
Couturier, Shen, and Matt Reed come out for Craig Berube. Jordan Staal, Elias Lindholm, Eric Staal for the Hurricanes, and now it's Justin Falk. Flushed out that time by Braden Shen. Jordan moves it for Lindholm. Picked off, neutralized Grossman, and sent back in. Cam Ward. Pass now for Jordan Staal. Swooping back is Lindholm, and now Eric. Eric over the line on the off wing, pulls up. They'll lay it across. Jordan lurking, but it's broken up by Braden Shen. Out to neutral ice.
Key play by Ward. That got Biega off the ice. What Cam Ward did there effectively, actually making the pass in the middle.
Jordan Staal, defensive help. Top of your screen, Elias Lindholm, who scored his 17th goal in the first period. It's knocked out of midair by Justin Falk. Jordan Staal, 2-on-3 for Carolina. They'll think about it, lay it ahead. Nick Schultz is back. Philadelphia now reorganizing. Del Zotto, a long pass. Over the line, they move up. A cut here, a shot by Shen denied, blocked by Justin Falk. He'll elevate it all the way back in the Flyers zone.
Been a tough year for Shen. He had a nice night Wednesday in Pittsburgh, but the numbers have not progressed like the 23-year-old thought they would. I think he'd rather play center than wing, but still high hopes Ron Hextall has for him.
Ryan White moving up on Ryan Murphy. White now holding on to it, trading places. Brandon Manning, his shot sealed off by Cam Ward. Nick Cousins, Zach Rinaldo on a cycle. As the net dislodged once again, and now we get a stoppage of play. And that one is really off the peg. Jordan Staal comes through in a big way. 2 points today, 2-goal lead, Carolina.
Here in Raleigh, second period, we're going to go back to a situation in the first period where that post was dislodged. for about 2 minutes. It was actually Brad Malone, as the whistle goes, that I think is the reason for it being off. Now, I talked to the league, the War Room in Toronto. They said had a goal been scored, they would have been able to review it and determine if the net was completely dislodged or not. And they would have spoken with the referee and been able to talk about what role that had in the puck going in the net. And, I don't know if it would have applied to this, but if a defending player is the reason the net is dislodged, a goal can be awarded, even after the net is dislodged. To me, they're the attacking player. Brad Malone seems to be the reason that it was either partially or completely dislodged. They would have reviewed to see which was the case.
It would have been interesting. Now goes off a stick. Played here by Koliakovo. 12 and a half left to go second period. Tipped right on. Cam Ward holding the fort. Big Belmar right out in front for Philly. Controlled here by Mikhail Jordan. Stretch pass through the middle. Skinner broken up by Brandon Manning. We got help also from Carlo Koliakovo. Belmar through center ice. Van de Velde now. Chris Van de Velde throws on the brakes. Takes it to the outside of Jordan. He'll wipe it off a stick off Skinner. Then it's sent back out. Lacuillet has the arm up. A penalty against Carolina. Philadelphia with their first power play.
It's going to be Semin.
Number 28, Carolina, 2 minutes. Hook.
And one of the matchups that you had to circle coming in. Carolina's penalty killing, which has been quite a story, in Philadelphia's power play. Semin has a tendency to get that stick off the ice, and that can make him vulnerable to such stick infractions as hooks. You have to make sure you take away the time and space in the half wall of Claude Giroux. He can shoot the puck from there, too.
Good matchup here. Philadelphia third best with a power play. Carolina third best with a kill. Voracek. Braden Shen now in control. Inside it goes. Battling hard. Moved by Ryan White. Claude Giroux captures the puck. Strike. Giroux, top of the ring. Out in front. Wedged on. 2 saves by Cam Ward. White to the outside. Voracek will settle it down. Jake Voracek now guarded by Pat Dwyer and Justin Falk. Back it goes for Strike. This way, Claude Giroux. He'll dust it off. Stride again. Straight away, looks it over. Stride in control. Looks for a lane. Delays. Voracek off stick. Good play. Justin Falk, who dumps it out.
And knowing the dangerous players, Giroux and Voracek. Ryan White and Wayne Simmons' absence has done a heck of a job in front of the net.
Braden Shen. Drop pass. Ryan White had it, lost it, pestered by Nathan Gerby. Flyers a wait to get onside. Flung in by Jake Voracek. Wedged by Falk, not out. Strike. Knocks it down. Inside it goes. Ryan White in back of the goal. Off the backside of the cage. Now Giroux. Out of the corner. Strike at the point. He'll walk the line a bit. Hold on to it. This way for Claude Giroux, their captain. Giroux out in front, side of the goal. Braden Shen. Shen takes it to the outside. Giroux one more time. He'll delay. His shot off a stick, a good stick. McClement and Falk, and it goes out of play. Coors Light. Cold hard facts for Bill Peters and his crew. With 10:42 left to go in the second period. The least penalized team in the National Hockey League. Carolina en route to get that done just ahead of Chicago.
Excellent shorthanded shift for Justin Falk. And one of the big reasons that their penalty killing has been at the top of the league or near there, as the months have gone on, is because they don't take many penalties. Power plays don't have many opportunities to adjust within a game.
38 seconds left on this one. Philadelphia, 4 out of 16 in the last 5 with their power play. Carolina has killed off 7 of 8 in the same time period. Now, Delzato in control. He'll drop it back for Sean Couturier. Carolina again 4 abreast at the line as Philadelphia wraps it in. Matt Reed got to it. Michael Raffle broken up. Hazy not out though. Couturier holding on to it. A wrister. They score! Off the pipe and in. Sean Couturier on the power play. 2-1 Carolina.
I want you to watch Ron Hainsey, but then I also want you to watch Matt Reed, who's going to end up in front of the net. Hainsey's going to have this puck on his stick. Isn't able to get it out. Heck of a keep. Couturier, the receiving end of a D-to-D pass with the net front presence of Reed. Cam Ward Looks like he gets a decent look at it, but not enough because it's a perfect shot. Pipe in. Hurricanes had a chance to clear the puck. That's a heck of a keep.
It's his first goal in 14 games. Sean Couturier cutting the lead in half. Now Semin. Semin takes it to the outside of Grossman. He'll circle the wagons. Hold on to it. Alex Semin now in control. Lays it along for Elias Lindholm. This way, Biega. Here it comes. It goes high. A screecher over the top of Ray Emery. Zach Ronaldo along the boards for Philadelphia. Stripped clean, broken up by Semin. His shot trickles in off a stick, a broken stick of Mark Streit. 9:36 left to go in the second period. We will hear from Canes assistant coach Rod Brindamore with Chantel McCabe right after this.
Canes in the second on the bench with assistant coach Rod Brindamore. Philly just scores on the power play. How do you not let that disrupt the good things your team's been doing this afternoon?
Well, that's a learning thing for us. You know, I mean, good teams don't let things like that bother them. So, I mean, we've had a pretty good game going until that little goal there. So, we got to just reset the button just like that. We had a great shift right after that goal, and now we just keep playing our game. All right.
Well, the Hurricanes have been much improved in special teams this year. That's a special teams goal against. They have not been as good as where they want to be at 5-on-5.
Right.
They have been very good at 5-on-5 so far this afternoon. They have to continue that.
5-on-5, goals for, goals against, a -40. In the skates of Braden Shen on the attack. Now it's wedged along by Ryan White. Inside again. Shen will take it to the outside. Mikhail Jordan is on him. In deep now, Biega in control from his own zone off the glass and back out. Getting to it now, Philadelphia will take it all the way back. Brandon Manning. Forechecked nicely by Andrei Nestrashil. Koliakovo. With a pass here, finding Ryan White, and out they come. Moving up, Nick Cousins. Cousins will cut. Hold on to it. The encumbered Braden Shen in Carolina will clear out.
Yeah, played in Sault Ste. Marie in the Ontario League. Cousins did. Played against Ryan Murphy all through the minor hockey years.
Ray Emery fights off a chance by Patrick Dwyer. An odd play there, and now it's played along the boards here by Jake Voracek. He turned it over to Danny Biega. Carolina, as we see in possession. Elias Lindholm taken down by Voracek, who has it. Jake Voracek peppered by Eric Stahl. Carolina now goes to work. Lindholm throws on the brakes. Here's Jordan Stahl. Jordan Stahl to the outside of Nick Schultz. Top of your screen, Eric now holding onto that puck. Out in front, tipped right on. A good save by Ray Emery. Voracek back out. Jake Voracek with 77 scoring points. Carolina gets to it.
Still, even when he makes a save like that, Ray Emery, he just gives you that look that he's fighting the puck, which to me, if I'm a Hurricane, you know, would give, I think it should give Carolina more team confidence.
Right. Out to center ice. Knocked down with a high stick that time by Chris Terry. We get a stoppage of play.
John, you spoke about Del Zotto just still being 24 years of age. Right side of your screen, he's moved the puck up the ice very well this afternoon. Here he keeps the puck in, which is the key play. Before Couturier gets it to the front of the net, you have Reed's primary net front presence. I mean, that's all about what Del Zotto did. Takes a long time for defensemen to mature in this league, and you know, especially when you break into Manhattan playing for the New York Rangers at such a young age. That takes a very mature young human being, and certainly defenseman.
A little bit overwhelmed. You have the pressure of being a first-round pick, as we saw in the graphic, 20th overall. But bottom line is what happens as you move forward, and it's really working out for Michael Del Zotto, and that's good. Along the boards now. Lyles is tied up by Couturier, Philadelphia's goal scorer. There's the evidence. We'll just watch this as they freeze it, and we'll get a face-off. Renew or purchase season tickets for next year by April the 11th. Enter to win the grand prize, which is 30 prizes in 30 days. That's a culmination, a trip for two on a 2-game road trip next season. The grand prize includes a flight on the team charter, hotel accommodations, tickets to both games, a meal with Canes management during the trip, and 2 personalized jerseys. Visit CarolinaHurricanes.com/tickets or call 866-NHL-CANES.
When we looked at that Del Zotto keep, I'll tell you what, that puck nearly hit Lyles and Raffle. 2 sticks in that lane.
Belmar, short side held by Ward. Van de Velde in control. He'll drop it off. Here's Streit. He'll cut. Mark Streit holding on to it now. A winder blocked in front by Justin Falk. Carolina back out to center ice. Controlled by Mark Streit, delayed offside as he sends it in.
Yeah, the Flyers not only got a power play goal, they got a lift from the power play. And, they've had a tough road record this year, but their power play has been what it's been the last few seasons, along with Washington's top drawer.
No icing here. Carolina forechecking. Alex Semin pinned along the boards. Flyers get to it. No escape harm. Van de Velde wheels it across. In control, LeCavalier fanning on a pass. It's loose. Moved along by Jordan. Jay McClement now springs a man. Alex Semin on the off wing. He telegraphed the pass. Picked off easily by Nick Grossman. Here come the Flyers out to center ice. There's an opportunity for a shot.
Well, Semin, if he could it's all about playing the game fast, and it applies to different areas. Moving your feet, but also making decisions with the puck.
Lindholm broken up by Del Zotto. Back ahead and back out. In control, Ryan White. A bouncer in on Ward. Ward alertly freezes. We get a break in play.
And, the pretty play, whether it's curling and waiting for a trailer as he did earlier in this period, it might work and it might be memorable when it does, but the vast majority of the time when you have a tremendous shot is to fire the puck. We saw it on the first goal of the game. Jordan fired the puck far side. Lindholm scored. There he fires far side, maybe beats Emery glove high, or creates a rebound for Skinner. That's the play that scores in 2015.
It kicks around. Lindholm now back out. 14 minutes gone in the second period. He'll pitch it in. Giving chase, Streit and Schultz. Moved by Raffle. Mark Streit now. Good stick check that time by Jordan Staal. Maybe a chance. Lindholm gets to it. This line is played well. Jordan Staal out of the corner. Leaves it for Eric. He shakes off a check. And it's played here by Michael Raffle. His only choice, ice the puck. And we'll swing it back.
As the Hurricanes have played now 35 minutes of fine hockey. This was the one area right here that Philadelphia had an edge after the first period. That's the face-off circle. So how can Victor Rask do here against Giroux? Both players have to work the top of their sticks with the linesman there. Good win.
Off the face-off, Philadelphia advances back out to neutral ice. Here's Hainsey hinging. Ron Hainsey through the middle, off the stick of Rask, controlled by Streit. In the skates of Claude Giroux, he'll hunt it down. Giroux back in his own zone. 5:20 left in the second period, fourth of 5 meetings. Carolina has won 2 of the first 3. It wraps up in Philadelphia Thursday night. Now Justin Falk in control. Second to last home game for Carolina. A week from today, they will finish off here against the Detroit Red Wings. Now it comes back. Brandon Manning fanning on a clear out. Matt Reed goes across for Koliakovo. He'll snap it along by Murphy all the way back. Icing once again.
So the face-off will be on the same side that it just was. This is where you really need a right-handed centerman. And this is where you miss Riley Nash. This is where you could come out with the Stalls plus Lindholm and have Lindholm take the draw. But instead, Malone's going to take it. See, the Hurricanes have far more lefties than righties in the face-off circle.
Riley Nash, of course, still on the mend. He skated this morning by himself. He was out there for a while, too, so hopefully that's a good sign for him. Now along the boards, Brad Malone. Back out through center ice and all the way back to John Michael Lyle.
I saw him before the game. He said with that puck clipping him in the ear as it did, he had trouble. He couldn't sleep on one side for the first several days of this week. At least now he can get rest on both sides. And boy, tough luck in a warm-up.
Now it's loose, controlled here by Couturier. Sean Couturier goes to work out in front. Fought off by Ward with help from Ryan Murphy. Out of the corner, they grind it. Koliakovo goes across, spinning as Del Zotto. Good check on him by Brad Malone. Malone stays tough on Del Zotto. Malone lost the lid. In control now on a change. Schultz with a shot. Blocker down by Ward. Played here by Braden Shen. Shen takes it to the outside of Murphy. Braden Shen protecting the puck. Holding onto it now. He'll wind it now away from Patrick Dwyer. He'll stop, look around. He sets up the defenseman moving wide, Nick Schultz. Inside again for Couturier. Moving across. Left there by Shen. Couturier one more time. Good possession by the Flyers. Schultz holding, shooting one off a body, off his own man, Matt Reed, and back out.
A good hit there from Couturier. Carolina tired bodies They need a clear right now. Philadelphia had done a good job staggering their changes to keep the puck going.
Shots even at 12. Semin taken down by Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. Controlled by Nicholas Grossman. Strike for Van de Velde. Chris Van de Velde threads it in. Cam Ward has to stay in the trapezoid. Bellemare, a steal. He gets it back. Now he's bumped in the process that time by Jay McClement. Loose along the boards. Mikhail Jordan wide open. Danny Biega.
Amazing puck management, a teaching tool at 2-0 for Carolina. Carolina iced the puck a couple of times. That allowed Philly to get a power play and get momentum.
Tight checking here. 2:59 left in the second period.
I'm forward Jordan Stahl, and you're watching Hurricanes hockey on Fox Sports Carolinas.
Oh, his brother calls him the big man, and Tripp, he has been a big man this afternoon.
His two best games in the last month. This one's not 2 periods old, but were when he was told, hey, prevent Sidney Crosby from beating us. And he played the majority of the game in Crosby's end. And here, prevent Giroux and Voracek from beating us. He has 2 points.
John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. The late stages of period 2. 24 shots in the game, and as you see, 12 on each side. Lindholm and Jordan Stahl have scored today for Carolina. Philadelphia getting a power play goal from Sean Couturier. Justin Falk. Lindholm, full flight. Jordan Stahl on strike. Holding onto it. Now Eric. He's in. Shut down. Ray Emery. Justin Falk. Turning stick. Jordan Stahl. Now Falk at the point, holding onto it. Inside it goes, off a stick. Off Eric's blade. And the Flyers advance it all the way back in Kane's ice. Ron Hainsey through center. Eric Stahl. Handoff. Jordan, now Lindholm. Elias Lindholm with a shot. Fought off again by Ray Emery. As he spits out another rebound, but Philadelphia attempts to get out of dodge. They don't. Here's Lindholm. Laying it back. One-timer Biega. Body down by Emery. He never saw it.
Biega's done a nice job joining the fun offensively. And do you see this line that's been Carolina's best? The 2 Stahls plus Lindholm. They have a shoot-first mentality.
Jordan lays it along, scooting out. Nathan Gerby through the middle. Rask. The 2 defensemen do a good job. The ladder of the 2 Manning. Now Rask out in front. Defended that time. Good play by Koliakovo. And out they come. Rask turns it in. A sweep check by Ryan White. Back out.
Koliakovo has impressed me. He and Del Zotto have been the best 2 puck-moving defensemen today.
Now a pass for Koliakovo. Out in front, forked along by Nick Cousins. Getting to it is Matt Reed. Cousins from the corner drops it off. Here's Braden Shen on a change. To the point it goes. All the way across, Del Zotto. Drop pass, wedged along by Couturier. Inside, Victor Rask. Knocked out of midair by Matt Reed. Under a minute left in the second period. Rask wants a tie-up in back of Ward. Shen in control. He'll stop and start on Rask. Right out in front. Good coverage by Carolina as they clear it out.
And I say the best 2 puck-moving defensemen for Craig Berube's Flyers. Justin Falk has gotten back on his horse. 2 tough road games. He's continued his high level defensively at home.
Now Couturier dances on McClement. Skinner back support. Has control. Jeff Skinner through neutral ice. Semin let it go. Controlled here and brought back by Nick Schultz. Stretch pass finding Sean Couturier. He'll drop it off. They cut. Couturier gets it back. He's defended by Hainsey. Reed with a chance wide. Shen digs it out. Braden Shen in control. 13 seconds left in the period. He'll turn away from Falk all the way across. Broken up by Jeff Skinner. Wedged out with 5 seconds left in the period. Philadelphia coming all the way back. It will be anybody's game in the third period. Shots 14-12 Carolina. Elias Lindholm will be Tripp Tracy's guest. We have the PNC Bank second intermission. Later on, a look at NHL scores and highlights. Lots of big games today in the National Hockey League. So Carolina gets a second period goal from Jordan Stahl, answered by Philadelphia's Sean Couturier. Hurricanes 2, and the Flyers 1 after 40. Canes get ready back at home for this third period with a 1-goal lead. Before we get to the final period, here's Chantel McCabe with Canes goaltending coach David Marcoux.
With a 2-1 lead, not letting the game get away from you, what has to be the focus in the third?
Well, I mean, the way that we did score our goals, we shot the puck. We shot for the far pad. Guys are going hard to the net. We missed a few opportunities to shoot the puck in the second period, and I think that didn't. That kind of spoiled our momentum there for a little while. So to get back on track and to put pucks deep behind their defensemen and put pucks to the net.
Thank you.
So we get set inside PNC Arena. Before we get to the period, we want to send our best wishes sincerely to Mike Roth, our director, our normal director, out with a lower body injury trip. This looks very serious. This is today for a man known as Rafi.
Yeah, boy, oh boy, that doesn't look good. Apparently a CrossFit training injury to a good man, Mike Toga Roth, as we affectionately call him, because he went to Rome and actually wore a toga on the mend, and we're thinking about you, Toga.
So he had a scheduled day off today, and it turned into that, so that's too bad. And hopefully, maybe Pete Friesen will give him a little advice when he's on the mend. He rehabs from that. That's a very significant, painful injury in all seriousness, so hopefully we'll see him soon. He's expected to join us on the road swing. A shot blocked by Philadelphia's Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and it comes back out where it's gloved down by Jordan, but he gave it away. Carried in the zone, Mark Streit, swallowed by Cam Ward, and we get a quick whistle.
Well, if that is an Achilles injury to Mike Roth, the last time, or not the last time, the second to last time that Philly was in this building, Claude Giroux was cut.
Yes.
In his Achilles area, actually a little bit above it, but went to the training room and said he was not wearing the protective socks that players are wearing now. He may have had a very, very significant injury. He actually said that, and so all players, all hockey players should wear those cut-proof socks if they can.
Yeah, the Kevlar as it kicks off a stick. It goes on to play. They have changed the goal. There was some whispers about it on press row, and I guess it goes now to Michael Raffl.
Yeah, I thought it grazed Lyle's stick and then Raffl's. And so, you know, you have a screen from Reed, who makes things tough for Cam Ward, and then you have a stick in the lane on the part of the Austrian-born Raffl, and that is a good power play recipe for success.
Offside called here. So for Raffl, it's his 21st goal of the season, now from Sean Couturier and Michael Del Zotto at 9:46 of period 2.
Born in Austria, signed as a free agent out of the Swedish Elite League, as was Bellemare, was born in France, signed out of the Swedish Elite League, and that's why I said that Chris Pryor, who you know well with Philadelphia scouting, deserves a lot of credit for being able to locate players from that league.
Chris does an outstanding job and has so for a long time. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, we've got all the news from the world of sports, including highlights of a full day in the NBA and NHL. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Well, as we've seen all afternoon, strength versus strength. It's our #1 game key, and so far at even strength, the Jordan Stahl-centered line has scored 2 goals, and because of that, Giroux, Voracek, Raffl, -2.
Goes by Raffl, in on Cam Ward. He'll melt it down, get a face-off in his own zone with 62 seconds gone in the period.
Yeah, Giroux and Voracek not heard from in this game. We began the afternoon talking about no Philadelphia Flyer ever winning the scoring race in the NHL. Sidney Crosby is in Columbus right now. Voracek and Crosby will play against each other tomorrow in Philadelphia.
Off the draw now, controlled by Ron Hainsey, away for Eric Stahl. Interrupted by Michael Raffl. It's loose in the center zone. Jordan Stahl for Lindholm, and now they have it in the person of Justin Falk, who dumps it in. Around the boards it goes. Jordan looks for Eric. Out in front, detected in the back check by Voracek. And now at the point, Carolina's Ron Hainsey. Justin Falk goes wide. Here it comes. Blocked by Nick Schultz. Controlled by Claude Giroux. Back out. Look out here, Michael Raffl. Intended for Jake Voracek. Voracek slides it out in front. Unattainable for Del Zotto and all the way back.
Smart play from Hainsey. Falk got himself caught. Hainsey made up for it. Falk needs a partner who will do that for him with the number of times Falk does it for his partner.
Let's get to Coors Light Cold Hard Facts, our second installment here this afternoon. Jake Voracek, a big part of it. Assist leaders in the National Hockey League. He's tied with Washington's Nicholas Backstrom.
And I believe the only time that a Philadelphia Flyer has had the most assists in the NHL, Bobby Clark, the Hall of Famer, did it twice, and I believe Eric Lindros did it once in his storied franchise's history.
48 years, only 10 years without playoffs, and they've never had a scoring champion. And as you mentioned, Bobby Clark getting it done from the assist standpoint. That's amazing. Now it's loose, controlled, brought out, and they have 2 cups to their credit, but they're way back when. Back-to-back years in 74-75. Out of the corner. 17:45 left to go, period 3. Ryan White, Zach Ronaldo. Ronaldo off a body off Ryan Murphy, stopping and starting. Nick Cousins. Cousins controlling. Back to the point. Poliakovo blocked in front by Ryan White off his stick, controlled by Brad Malone. Carolina attempting to get it out. Played outside the line now by the Flyers. They restart.
I think Lindros was in a tie at the top of the points race one year, I think with Jaromir Jagr. And I think the number 1 tiebreaker is who scores more goals. And Jagr won that tiebreaker. And well, you go back to what Jagr did against Carolina Thursday night.
Through center ice now on the attack. Flyers attempting to go deep with that one. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare goes through center all the way back. Ray Emery out to play it, leaving it for Nicholas Grossman. Grossman, the veteran defenseman, laid along and back out. Carolina's on it. Biega this way. It's Skinner out in front, a bouncing puck. Skinner! What a stop by Emery. A dandy and a beautiful move by Jeff Skinner. Out to center ice. Chris Van de Velde in the Carolina zone, hit hard by Danny Biega.
Tough situation there for Mark Streit. Tough place to turn the puck over.
Semin with a shot off the stick wide, blocked by Streit. Semin now along the boards. Broken up by Vinny Lecavalier. John Michael Lyles, a steal for Carolina. Ryan Murphy to the outside, Jordan Staal. He'll circle away from Streit. Now Lyles holding, shooting one, stopped and covered by Ray Emery.
Well, Skinner goes to the area of the ice that you have to go to where good things happen. Gets on sides. Watch him. He's on the right side of your screen. Streit just cannot gather this puck, and what a skill play from Skinner. Maybe that'll give him some confidence. Settle his hands just enough, because he has made a lot more really good passes of late than he's gotten good shots at the net, so hopefully that'll be a building block.
Off the draw now, Gerby. One touches for Terry, gets it back. Nathan Gerby shut down. Terry in control. Riding that 4-game point streak, and back of the goal now, Nathan Gerby to the outside. He'll leave it there, broken up. And it's sprung out to center ice that time by Del Zotto. Matt Reed gets it deep. Victor Rask ready for Sean Couturier. Centering pass detected by Carolina's Nathan Gerby. And back out they go. You're looking at Chris Terry. Dropping it off to Victor Rask out in front. Gerby shut down by Ray Emery. Gerby was in tight as he just tried to wedge it by Emery. In the zone, Braden Shen walks in. Ward says no twice. Hainsey tries to clear. Chopped at by Poliakovo, loose along the boards. Played now at center ice by Brandon Manning. He'll clear it in.
Philadelphia is where they're at because they have not gotten the secondary scoring that they've required. Braden Shen comes over from Los Angeles, very highly thought of. He's had a tough offensive year. 2 good chances there.
It rolls in on Ray Emery. Left there for the D. Poliakovo. Chipped along. Back out to neutral ice. Hainsey snaps it right back in. Emery now will leave it for the D. Carlo Poliakovo in back of the net. Just over 5 minutes gone in this third period. Shot 17 Carolina, 14 taken by Philadelphia. Canes looking for their 3rd win this season against the Flyers. Manning through center. Chipped along and all the way back it's Ron Hainsey. A quick up, wide open, Jordan Staal. Swooping in, now Eric. Eric sends it in. Out of the reach of Jordan. Here's Falk. His shot denied by Emery. Loose out in front. Controlled by Grossman. He's checked by Eric Staal. Now he's finished off by Elias Lindholm. Giroux. Skate to stick, Raffle, and out they come. In control, Mark Streit. Streit over the line, pulls up. Off a body, blocked on the way through by Jordan. It eludes the point man, Nicholas Grossman, all the way down to Emery.
Again, Carolina worked on being better transitionally, sorting out defensively yesterday. That was really good. No options for Streit when he wanted to find a trailer.
Out of the corner, Jordan. Underneath it and out, Brad Malone. Center zone, Philadelphia's Nick Schultz. Indirect pass, Ryan White. He'll leave it there, a steal, Malone. Lead pass, Nestrashil. Pinned along the boards by Schultz. Left there now, Carolina attempting to get it deep. Controlling the puck now and wheeling it back. A good job by Dwyer. Tough chance by Jordan, tipped wide. Now it's Ronaldo. Finished off by Nestrashil, and a penalty will follow. 13:33 left to go in this third period. We'll tell you about it when we come back. Carolina with a 2-1 lead, but a penalty here on Andre Nestrashil. We'll see the Flyers go man up when we come back. It's Andre Nestrashil in the box. He's a little bit upset. Tripp, he feels that there might have been some embellishment on this play.
Well, I just can't tell where the stick... No, I mean, the stick gets up. There's no doubt about it. Did Ronaldo help it along a little bit? Possibly, but I think it all goes into having to, have that responsible stick, not to put yourself in that situation.
Second power play for the Flyers. Voracek now strike with a shot tipped high. It goes on a play. 13:23 left to go in this third period. Only 10 seconds gone on the power play.
Well, Philadelphia won a face-off on one side. Now Giroux will try to do it on the other. I go back and forth, about how important face-offs are. At 5-on-5 even strength hockey. I can tell you this, they're extremely important in special team situations.
Giroux along the boards and back. Moved along by Voracek. Top of your screen to the point. Strike. Moves it across now. Giroux in control. Shot taken, denied by Cam Ward. Well, Giroux now this way. Controlled by Jake Voracek. Checked by Jay McClement. Hainsey tries to clear. Not out. Giroux will settle it down. A turn on Dwyer. Well, Giroux inside Ryan White. A give back. Flyer captain Giroux. One-timer. Strike. Stopped by Ward. Rebound out in front. Still fought for. Here's a chance off the side of the goal by Jake Voracek. And Justin Falk will dump it out.
This has been so much about White. He's the guy that gets the puck possession off of the face-off. And then he was a guy wreaking havoc in front of Cam Ward. Cam Ward, probably his best sequence of the afternoon.
Now Claude Giroux deals away along the wall. Braden Shen is tied up by John Michael Lyles. Giroux now. Strike. With a backhand dish. They set it up one more time. Giroux in control. Strike around the clock. Mishandling. Getting it back. Voracek. A read on a telegraph pass. Picked off by Victor Rask and moved along by Nathan Gerby.
It's really good to see Victor Rask back on home ice to have this type of game after two tough ones against the Capitals and Panthers.
Final push. Del Zotto. Matt Reed. Reed for Del Zotto. Elevates the puck. Moving in Reed. Carolina circling back on it. Out of the scrum to the point. Koliakovo. Michael Del Zotto controlling it. Now Del Zotto to the outside. And it's tipped out of play. PNC Arena installed a state-of-the-art lighting system using LED technology developed and manufactured by Durham One NC-based Cree Incorporated.
Cam Ward has an equipment issue because I think he, had to fight so hard to get this puck at the end. At the snare initially, you had White there, you had Braden Shen there paying the price in front. Really impressed with Ryan White, who actually was a junior teammate of Cam Ward's good friend and former Hurricane Andrew Ladd in Calgary.
Out to center ice, tail end of the power play sequence. Patrick Dwyer. Controlled now out of the corner. Nestrashil's out of the box. 11:25 left in regulation time. A one-goal lead for the Hurricanes. Attempting to stop a three-game skid, although one of those they gained a point. An overtime loss here last Sunday against Boston. Now, Mikhail Jordan. Jordan Stalls had a great day. Goes inside with it. They turn out of the corner. Lindholm broken up momentarily by Couturier. Jordan holding onto it. Shoved away from the puck that time on a good play by Koliakovo. Philadelphia escapes harm, and here they come.
But John, that was a big kill for Carolina, but it was also one of those situations where the NHL's most disciplined team, proof in the pudding, don't take another penalty against this power play.
Down the wall, Zach Ronaldo. Off sticks, tough chance. Cam Ward said no. Jamming away that time was Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. He's taken down. They grind it to the outside. Here's Ronaldo. Held in by Manning. Stopped by Ward. Loose along the boards now. Belmar moving it by Jordan. Controlled here by Cam Ward and now moved out by Danny Biega, who took a hit. And Ray Emery is out to play it.
Excellent shift from Philadelphia's fourth line. Usually it's LeCavalier with Belmar and Van de Velde. Philly's going to take penalty, but it was Ronaldo with him there, and an excellent shift. Tough penalty to take.
Chris Van de Velde is guilty. He'll take a seat. We'll take a look at the Storm Tracker today.
Flyer penalty
A
number
look
6.
back
Minor
at our
penalty
game
for tripping.
keys.
Now, John, I know you love to see where the arrow goes in
I
these
do.
Storm Trackers, and let's see if we can get it up there, and then I'm going to show you where it goes. Boom. Both of Carolina's goals have been from Stahl plus Lindholm playing against Giroux, Voracek, and Raffl.
So a big moment here for the Hurricanes if they can get an insurance goal. Falk with a shot stopped by Emery. He'll freeze.
Win a face-off, your power play immediately goes to work. We saw it on the recent Flyer power play, and there Eric Stahl wins one. Justin Falk either gets his body to the middle, where his options go tenfold, or he allows Victor Rask, who's in the middle of the ice playing the point, to slide into a shooting position.
See what Carolina's done with their power play so far. Falk now, intended for Terry. Out of the corner, give back by Lindholm. This is Chris Terry. Terry will set it up now. To the point, Falk. He'll walk the line. Hold on to it, remain patient. Chris Terry with a shot, stinging Emery. Loose, side of the goal, Lindholm. Delzato goes hard at him. Lindholm, a broken stick. Ryan White off the boards and all the way back down.
Not sure how Lindholm broke that stick. I can tell you, I think he may have been slashed, but the Hurricanes have started paying the price, getting it to Ray Emery the way they did in the first period.
Falk now will wrap it in. It goes along the dasher, played by Gerby. Back again for Rask. Victor Rask inside Jordan Stahl. Nathan Gerby, Justin Falk now. Arister stopped the big rebound. It's loose and captured by Matt Reed, and the Flyers survive.
It's not pretty with Ray Emery, but he's finding a way.
He's gotten better as the game has wore on. Along the boards now. 11 minutes gone in this third period. Penalty has 45 seconds left in it. A big scramble here, a scrum. Belmar in the middle of it. Played along the boards now. They still fight for it, continue that scrum. And the boys finally pop it out, we think. They get back to it. Skinner out of the pile. Good block by Belmar. Broken stick. Skinner off a stick of Grossman that time. Jordan Stahl. Lyles, top of your screen. Here's Victor Rask. Arister blocked. Canceled by Belmar. He'll get it out.
Belmar was one of the guys that was able to reduce the power play with all those seconds along the wall. And then the key block. I mean, he's in pain right now as he gets off the ice on an excellent shift.
Carolina gets it in. Van de Velde out of the box. A big kill by Philadelphia. Raffl, center zone. Van de Velde moving up. Giroux. Claude Giroux in the zone on Falk. Throws on the brakes. Giroux holding on to it to the point. Here's Delzato. Michael Delzato. Claude Giroux. Arister. Stop. No rebound. Given up by Cam Ward. 7:52 left to go in this third period. Carolina 2. Philadelphia 1.
The third is 2-1. Canes' Riley Nash has missed the last 4 games after suffering a couple of injuries and warm-ups for the Boston game last week. Talk about a bad bounce. He got a concussion from an errant puck and an ear injury, which required 14 stitches, as you see right there. He skated with the team yesterday in practice in a yellow no-contact jersey. He actually had an injury on that same ear in college. He said when he returns, he will be wearing ear protectors. Coach Peters says there's no definitive game that he will return. Guys?
Gosh, Chantel, I thought wrestlers were the only ones that really had some ill effects to their ears from that fine sport, but they could have used him in the draw there, being on that side of the ice, being a righty, and you know that's where I'd love to see Lindholm be a center down the road to take those.
Delzato from the wall. 7:40 left in regulation time. These two teams will play again Thursday night in South Philly. Broken up here by Justin Falk and back out. Elias Lindholm, one of 2 Carolina goals today, gets it in. Mark Streit will leave it there, and in control coming all the way back. Right out here by Claude Giroux. Michael Raffl. A handoff for Delzato. He'll scale it in. Cam Ward from the trapezoid. Ron Hainsey in his own zone in the skates of Jordan Staal. He gets a little help from Lindholm. He moves it back to Hainsey, and Carolina efficiently will attempt to get it out.
That's got to be 5 touches from Cam Ward. Getting out, stopping a puck, and then making a good tape-to-tape pass that have prevented any chance of a forecheck from the Flyers going to work.
This game has been a grind. Now Del Zotto out of the corner, moving back. Flushed out by Victor Rask. Couturier. Del Zotto is by Strike. Here's Terry. Chris Terry down the wall, holding onto it. To the far corner, Nathan Gerbe, one-timer. Murphy through a screen wide. Loose here for Braden Shen. Good support by Couturier. Out they come. Del Zotto with a reach, gets to it. He'll tap it ahead. Carolina circling back in their own zone. 2 men in on the forecheck for Craig Berube. Along the boards, broken up that time. And chipped out of play by Danny Biega off a stick. Trip the Freeze Cam is brought to us by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, Grossman is a physical defenseman with size, not necessarily the quickest. Jordan Staal, with his reach, is able to strip him of the puck. And then he had Ray Emery guessing all over the place, dating back to the goal that Jordan had set up, shooting far side as a pass/shot. Because of that, he was able to beat him as the shooter on the 2-on-1.
Jordan holding onto it. Along the boards and back out. Brandon Manning picked off. Biega. Carolina now with Jay McClement getting it deep. Ray Emery out to play it. Moved along. Biega slides looking for a tip. Manning out of the corner. On the wall, here they come. Van de Velde. Rink wides. Ronaldo now tries it, rather Koliakovo moved it along for LeCavalier, and it comes all the way back. Out of the corner, McClement. Shadowed by LeCavalier. Loose through center and back for Brandon Manning. He'll settle it down under 6 minutes left in regulation time. In control, Nick Cousins for the Flyers. Moving up. Lyles defending. Pinning him, knocking him down. Out of the corner, Murphy. Good pass. Brad Malone. Here they come. He'll start his engine. Malone over the line. On the wing, intended for Nestrashil. Malone goes low. Taken care of by Grossman. Nestrashil. Tight quarters. Bumped. Knocked down by Schultz. To the outside, Malone. Nicholas Grossman is on him. Ryan White. Patrick Dwyer also there. Carolina's Dwyer given a shove by White. He'll take it to the outside. Back to the point for Murphy. Murphy saddles it down low. Brad Malone below the goal line. 4:53 left in this third period. Cousins back out. Ice cut in half by Patrick Dwyer.
Boy, that is an excellent reload at the end of a shift from Dwyer late in the game. That's something that has been there at home, but has not been there the last couple of games on the road, to reload with a purpose like that.
Consecutive losses on the road swing in Washington and Florida. Setting up the game here today. Braden Shen, back it goes. 3 straight on the road. Starts Monday in Buffalo for the Hurricanes. Tuesday in Detroit. Thursday in Philly. Here's Shen. Taken down. Jordan. Lead pass. Lindholm. Peppered by Couturier. He leaves it off to Eric Staal just wide. Biega. Top of your screen. A wrister tip. Off the mask, I believe, of Emery. Played here by Mark Streit. Philadelphia survives as they get it out.
Jordan Staal got a piece of it. Danny Biega's played a lot with this Staal-Lindholm line. He's been good.
Now, Koliakovo loads the gun. Swallowed by Cam Ward. No further play. 3:56 left to go in regulation time. John Michael Lyles defensively rubs out Nick Cullens. Now, for next season, the Hurricanes have full plans, 22-game flex plans, 11-game plans. You can pick next season for the first time which games are included in the 22 or 11-game flex plans. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com/tickets or call 866-NHL-CANES. And on that dasher board, every single member of the Caniac Nation, full, partial, season ticket holder, is on the boards. That's great to see. 3:50 left to go in this third period. Del Zotto pressured on the way back. Out of the corner, moved along that time by the Flyers. An attempt to get it out. They do. Del Zotto this way. Voracek. He'll swoop in through the slot. Knocked down. Raffle. Played here by Elias Lindholm. A give back. Voracek covering up. Now Mark Streit. He'll wind it inside. It's let go by Michael Raffle out of the corner. Moving down the wall again. Jake Voracek holding onto it out in front.
It sails by Delzato. Strike with his head up, blocked. Good block by Eric Stahl, and it kicks out. Voracek blocked again, thwarted by Carolina's captain, and it ricochets all the way down to Ray Emery. 17 minutes just about gone here in this third period. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. Carolina hanging on to a one-goal lead. Goes by Vinny Lecavalier. John Michael Lyles. Top of your screen, Chris Terry. A turnover. Philadelphia's on it. Poliakovo tipped. Ward got a piece of it off the stick of Van de Velde. Carolina will take a breath and get it out. Here's Victor Rask. Looking for Chris Terry. Defended by Poliakovo. He'll take it to the outside. 2:35 left in regulation time. Belmar for the Flyers for Van de Velde. And out they come. Chris Van de Velde this way for Brandon Manning. Manning outside the line, scales it in. Lyles is back for Carolina. He'll move it to the corner. Murphy off a stick. Belmar knocks it down. Murphy one more time. Hunted down by Van de Velde. Pressured by Lecavalier. Nathan Gerby, you see it there, brings it out.
Back-to-back for Philadelphia, home tomorrow, but Craig Berube has played his fourth line throughout, and, they've played well. They've deserved the ice time.
We will keep an eye on goaltender Ray Emery. Matt Reed with a shot stopped by Ward, cleaned up by Jordan. To the boards now, and back it goes. Delzato off a stick. Look out! They score! Sean Couturier. In the right place at the right time, Philadelphia has tied it.
Well, Couturier eventually is going to be able to lose himself behind all 5 Carolina players. He's at the top of your screen right now. Both defensemen are on the same side of the ice. Jordan cannot play that bouncing puck. And because of that, Couturier has time and space to make a move to open up Cam Ward. Forehand, backhand between the legs. And I give a lot of credit to the Flyers because they've really had a really good press the last several minutes to get that goal.
Shots even, score even. 1:37 left. Back out to center ice. Ron Hainsey in control. Sean Couturier, like Jordan Stahl, who sends it in. 2 points this afternoon. Nick Schultz in control. He'll take it to the outside. Schultz now holding on to it. Broken up. A loose puck as we see. Eric Stahl bouncing it off Emery. Played here by Nick Schultz. Braden Shen and Michael Delzato get the assist. And the goal comes at 18:10. Philadelphia from their own zone. Matt Reed chipped on a play by Carolina's Danny Biega. We get a stoppage.
We'll take one more look at the goal. And you're going to see both defensemen are going to end up on the same side of the ice. That happens. But you have to adjust. All right. So as we roll forward, here's Biega. You're going to see Jordan come in right here, right at the dot. McClement, who is the low centerman, typically is up high. So you'd need an adjustment from the weak side winger, Alexander Semin. He can't in time. And the big thing is that Jordan could not play that bouncing puck.
Through center and back by Biega. No icing here. Was tipped. 45 seconds left in regulation time. Look out. The Flyers have it. They go across. Delzato off a body. Control to the outside by Matt Reed. He attempts to shake off Biega. Moving in, Belmar centers one off a stick, played here by Nathan Gerby. Under 30 seconds left in regulation time. Gerby from well out, swallowed by Ray Emery. A face-off will occur in the Philadelphia zone.
Well, the Flyers have been right from the goal on out, true to what Craig Berube said would be the case. They have a lot of pride in that crest, and they are going to play this season through with a lot of passion. Pittsburgh Penguins learned that on Wednesday night. The Carolina Hurricanes have learned that the Flyers just won't go away in this one.
Off the draw, Folk lays it back. Hainsey a steer in. Nick Schultz in control. Raffle had it, lost it. He gets help from Brandon Manning, young defenseman. Hainsey didn't see it. Now he does. Inside the line, held in by Schultz. 5 seconds left in regulation time. Ron Hainsey out of the corner, away from Michael Raffle. will salt away the rest of this. Each team has secured a point in the standings. We will get to 4-on-4 sudden death overtime. So a late goal with 70 seconds left in regulation, scored by Sean Couturier.
And Couturier was cut right around his teeth and lips after he tied the game. Not sure if it was a stick or not, but this is what Philadelphia's lacked all season long. After Giroux and Voracek, especially on the road, Craig Berube has said they just haven't had the production they need from players like the guy on the right.
Carolina has gone 3 games without a win. 2 of those losses in regulation. 1 overtime loss here against Boston. That came on Sunday. Bill Peters and his crew returning from a road trip looking for a response. By and large, he has received that. We'll see what happens in overtime. An overtime sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live for the game and live fearless. Lyles hampered on the way out. Getting to it, Sean Couturier. Couturier out of the corner. Working Lyles one more time. Grinding Voracek now. Del Zotto. Michael Del Zotto. Jake Voracek with open ice. Sealed a bit by Biega. Out of the corner, Del Zotto. He'll get room, lay it back. They fake a shot, it's chopped to the corner. Del Zotto, off a stick. Ward moved it. Mark Streit forces the issue. Streit in control. Holding on to it off the paddle of Ward. It kicks around. Controlled. Brought out of the zone by young Biega and all the way back.
Del Zotto just about jumped from that weak side point to the back door. Cam Ward just gets a piece. Quite a battle going on before that between Jean-Michael Lyles and the guy that scored the tying goal, Couturier.
Jordan Staal sends it back. He's factored on both goals today. Here's Justin Falk. Jordan is in. Jordan Staal throws on the brakes, defended by Nick Schultz. To the point, Falk. He'll dust it off. Justin Falk lays it along, broken up by Matt Reed, and out they come. This is Brandon Manning. Nick Schultz now for Philly. 3:39 left in overtime. Schultz, a handoff. Back it goes. Reed faking the shot. Claude Giroux. Brandon Manning. They stay onside. In the corner, Matt Reed negated by Justin Falk. It pinballs around. Controlled by Lindholm, but he gave it away. Koliakovo. Claude Giroux. Throws on the brakes ahead of Ron Hainsey. His threat broken up by Lindholm. Now Hainsey steers it back. Falk in control, and Carolina will attempt to get it out. Justin Falk. Just about 2 minutes gone in OT. Belmar is on him. Turning back, Alexander Semin with a tight turn. He brings it ahead for Skinner. He tries to return the favor. Alex Semin ahead of Koliakovo, who cancels him. They go to the corner. Belmar is there for the Flyers. Pierre-Edouard Belmar jamming. Skinner a steal. Back it goes. In control Lyles. Now Skinner. He'll dart. Get room. Shake off Belmar. Stay with it. Good work by Jeff Skinner. He throws on the brakes. Skinner centers one off a stick. Belmar got a piece of it. Now it's Lyles. Lyles tries to make it happen. A handoff for Skinner. He'll dangle. Leave it there. Semin one more time. Off the body. Fended off by Koliakovo. Down low. Controlling it Lyles. Out in front. Biega with a shot wide. Controlled by Lyles. John-Michael Lyles. Philly's dead tired. Back it goes. Here's Biega. Danny Biega, wrister caught by Emery. They need a whistle. They get it.
Well, again, these are reasons why the National Hockey League decided this year to change ends in overtime, to create situations where being tired can be a real challenge for the team defending, like Ray Emery and company, and can be an asset for Danny Biega and the Carolina Hurricanes, who just about won the game. Biega fired a shot through traffic that just missed Belmar coming down low. He was exhausted. Made a key stick play on a cross-ice pass, too.
Eric Staal goes forward with it, opposed by Claude Giroux on the draw. 2 minutes left in overtime. Here's Voracek. This way for Manning. Brandon Manning. Checked on the way out by Nathan Gerby. Left there inside the line. Hainsey. Hampered a bit. Now Voracek, top of your screen. He'll cut. Jake Voracek gets room. Walks in off sticks. Loose in back of the goal. Defended well. Justin Falk in control. Here come the Canes out to center. Falk over the line. Eric Staal. This way. Gerby. His shot blocked by Voracek. 90 seconds left in overtime. Claude Giroux moves it across for Sean Couturier. Here they come. For the front, Manning. Couturier's shot blocked. Hainsey has Manning. Couturier had it, lost it. Fault. This way for Eric Stahl. $1:14 left in overtime. Nathan Gerbe moves in. He'll spin. Take it back to the outside. Here's Rask. His shot stopped by Emery. Held in. Controlled. Carolina one more time. Victor Rask taken down by Jake Voracek. Philadelphia on it. 55 seconds left in overtime. Nick Schultz back again for Voracek as they start ahead. Matt Reed through center ice. Moving up on Jordan Staal. Stolen by Rask. Lindholm, open ice. He'll shift on Koliakovo. Take it to the outside. Moving in now. Jordan Staal. Elias Lindholm across for Rask. His pass is canceled. Lindholm knocking it down. 29 seconds left. Elias Lindholm retreats. Holtanovic lays it along for Lyles. Lyles off a body. Broken up. 2-on-1. Here come the Flyers. Matt Reed in control. He'll delay. Walk in. Flushed out by Rask. Lindholm in support. Here come the Hurricanes. One more time. Lindholm goes wide. Lays it across off the stick of Rask. 3 seconds left in overtime. Jordan Staal from the corner. That'll do it. We go to shootout.
What an outstanding overtime. We're going to look at a couple of the highlights. Justin Falk has shown a propensity. When the game's on the line, he plays his best. Look at the job on Voracek. When you look at the point race in the NHL, that's a rather important guy to have a good stick on. Falk then did it again, I think, on Raffl. And then Emery's best save of the overtime on Victor Rask and John Michael Lyles. His job, the pass. If he can seal the shot, great on Reed. He can help Victor Rask to seal Reed, terrific. Lyles deserves a lot of credit that no scoring opportunity comes from that 2-on-1.
So everybody gets a breather. Craig Berube and his team now will look at a shootout. John Michael Lyles, who has played well here down the stretch. These two teams will play again Thursday night in Philadelphia as the goaltenders go back to the original ends, and we have the penalty shot contest.
The thing I like the most, and he did it late in the game against Boston Sunday, even though Carolina lost. The bigger the game, or sorry, the more important times of the game, Falk seems to elevate his play. That's a very encouraging trend.
Shootout sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live for the game, live fearless. Let's see how fearless Nathan Gerbe is on Ray Emery, shooter number 1. He gets it done. He made it look easy. Carolina up by 1.
Well, he, with his hands, started a drifting motion from left to right for Ray Emery. And so once he's drifting, he can't do anything once that toe drag occurs to create room on the glove side to score the all-important first shootout goal against a team that struggled in the shootout.
Jake Voracek without a point today. Walks in as shooter number 1. Cam Ward says no.
See, from a goaltending standpoint, the difference in the two shooters, and more importantly, the two goaltenders, is Ward kept his balance evenly distributed as much as he could in the middle of his body. Even as Voracek tried to get him to drift to his left, but he stayed in the middle, and that allowed him to lunge back to his right to make the save.
Chris Terry had a 4-game streak stopped today, but we know he's great at this, and how about that? What a goal, top shelf. Chris Terry, 2-0 Carolina in the shootout.
Well, the hands and the speed. He came in with a good amount of it. And so, you know, Emery had to make a decision. I got to get out and get a good push if I have any chance at matching that speed. And then on top of it, the elevation on the backhand. What a play.
Philadelphia on life support. It's Nick Cousins. Cousins, their last chance. Walks in on Cam Ward, and he scores. Beautiful move by the rookie, Nick Cousins.
Similarities to the shooters that both went first and now that goes second. Cousins came in with a good amount of speed. Cam came out more than Emery did, but then he committed. He committed with the stick. Heck of a job rolling the hands by Cousins. Always been a skilled player going back to the OHL. What a play.
Victor Rask can put it away if he dents Ray Emery again. He'll swoop in deliberately, and he's stopped by Emery.
Not quite the speed, I think, that Terry came in with. And so that just allowed Emery to make somewhat similar of a save as Ward did on Voracek at the beginning of the shootout for Cam. Can Cam now seal it against Claude Giroux?
Flyer captain Claude Giroux with a game on his stick. Cam Ward stares him down. Carolina wins in the shootout.
Well, you could see in Cam's body language as soon as Giroux picked up that puck. Shootouts have been really a nightmare on Elm Street for Cam Ward, and he wanted this badly. I thought he was deceivingly good in this game with the type of stops he made, and he got just enough of a solid push digging into the ice to match the speed of Giroux, and then as Giroux does a fine job of getting this puck up, look at the layers vertically. The pad and then the blocker on top of the pad makes the save, a save Cam wanted very badly. Good for him, a nice bounce back for Carolina at home.
2 points in the standings for the Hurricanes, and thanks to the Carolina Ale House, $200 to the Carolina Hurricanes Kids and Community Foundation. So an outstanding win here for the Hurricanes, who grinded this one out. They had that 2-1 lead. The late goal, a stinger scored by Sean Couturier with 70 seconds left in regulation time. And then through an exciting overtime where there were chances, they pick up the shootout win. And Cam Ward had an outstanding afternoon here also as we await the three-star selection. Carolina with 3 victories over Philadelphia. And the 5-game season series will wrap up in South Philly on Thursday night. Justin Falk, the 3rd star here this afternoon.
Yeah, that shows there's a real hockey IQ. We're not the ones picking the stars because on the defensive shutdown side of the puck, Falk had a stellar day.
2nd star, and I'm sure this will be all Carolina. Jordan Staal with 2 points today. And a huge lift and a defensive matchup with Claude Giroux, and he was stellar.
Yeah, I probably would have had him at number 1. Oh, that was one.
So there was a Philadelphia player that was taken, and we will now get down at this point to Chantel McCabe with Jordan Staal.
Thank you, John. Jordan, after a tough 2-game road trip, you come home and get this win. What does it mean to your group?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, we've been playing a lot better in front of our fans, and it's good to get a win there tonight, and hopefully just finish strong throughout the rest of the season.
Your goal today ended an 18-game drought for you personally. It always helps to win a team, but for you, how does it improve your game and finish this season strong?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, I was in a little rut there, and it was nice for one of them to go in, and hopefully I can get a few more towards the end.
Your team's talked a lot about building. What do you do from here to finish this season the way you want to?
Yeah, like I said, just like the last game here, we want to keep building and doing the right things and find ways to win games, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Thank you for your time. Congrats, Jordan.
All right, thank you.
John, back to you.
Thank you, Chantel. Jordan Staal, 1st star here this afternoon as he gets it done today, leading the way for the Hurricanes in fine fashion. So, Carolina standing tall, coming in after a 2-game road swing that certainly didn't go their way, but they needed to respond as a team, and they did, as they stormed Philadelphia early and built as it went through and survived a late surge to win this one in the shootout. Stay with us, Hurricanes Live. Total post-game coverage will come your way next. Carolina 3, Philadelphia 2 on Fox Sports Carolinas.